Welcome back to the Burrow. I'm your host, Lala Bunny, head trader at Bimbo Trading Academy. And today I'm going to discuss my very first trade. I even have the dates written down right here. So the first brokerage account I opened was with SoFi. And they were doing a promotion with a welcome offer like, hey, sign up for an investment account and we will give you $5. And at the time, I was 34 years old. I had zero money in the stock market, none, no investments, no 401k, IRA, no nothing. I had never even stayed at a job long enough to have any type of pension, any sort of retirement, nothing. So at age 34, zero investments. And that's a scary place to be. And some of y'all might be able to relate. So when I saw that $5 welcome offer, I thought free $5. I wasn't in an investing mindset. I thought maybe I could sell it later and just take the $5. That was the plan. Turned into much more. But the timeline is interesting. So the welcome offer hit my account on November 18th, 2021. Now take that date in mind. That's sort of after the pandemic had hit. A lot of stuff had been happening in the stock market at that time. I had vaguely heard about some things, but again, I was not in it at that time. So the end of 2021, I got the $5. And the first thing I did is invest in what you know. I bought $5 in Verizon. I thought, well, I have a Verizon phone, I have that service. It's a decent company. I hope that that money will grow. So I invested in Verizon. And then I sold it in a few months later. So April 1st, 2022. So we're talking November, December, January, February, March, April, 5 months. I sold it in 5 months at the same exact price. It hadn't even gone up into it looks like I lost 3 pennies. It was 4.97. I put in five, I got 4.97. That $5 basically stayed the same. Okay. So I briefly put it into Ethereum, which is a cryptocurrency that I had no business putting it in because I didn't know enough at that time about that. I just sort of thought maybe that's a good one. I put it in there. And that was only in there for like not even a month, like 20 days. And I took it out. And this is just an example of what new investors do. They don't know what they're doing. They put money in, take it out, move it around. They're not sure. They're not sure what's the best path forward. So then I heard about, I must have been educating myself at that point because there was something called VOO. That's an ETF. And I put my money into that. And this was on April 25th, 2022. I put $5.03 into VOO. Okay. Now, I must have forgotten about it and I wasn't checking it regularly. And I opened my app on February 23rd, 2024. 2 years later, almost 2 whole years later, it was now worth $6. So the $5 initial welcome bonus that I had gotten turned into six, but it took 2 years. That's how long it took to turn $5 into six. And during that time, I was not investing, I was not trading. I didn't know what was going on. But what did that do for me personally? It showed me that you can set it and forget it. You can put money in the stock market, let time do its thing, and you may have more than when you started. Now, is it guaranteed? No, absolutely not. That could have gone down as well. The stock market had a good year, so it went up. And something just clicked in my brain where I was like, wait a minute. I only had $5 turned into six. If I had put 50 in, it would have turned into 60. If I had been able to put 500 in, it would turn into 600. 5,000 into 6,000. 50,000 into 60,000. Okay, now you're talking real money. If I had put $500,000, not that I had it, if I had put that much money in the stock market, it would have gone up to 600,000. I'd be $100,000 richer for doing what? Not for working, not for waking up and going to a job every day. That's why they call it passive income. I didn't have to do anything except put the money in there and let it go to work. Your money is working for you when you invest, if the investments are profitable. So this just sort of set off a switch in my brain, like seeing the potential of the stock market. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. My next trade, I must have been on some penny stock little phase over there because in February, let's see, I bought BGXX. It's called Bright Green. It's a penny stock, is worth about 20 cents. And by June, the stock popped up to about 30 or 40 cents. I sold it. I was able to cash out with over $10. So the timeline between when I invested in BGXX, bright green, oh, the ticker is BGXX. That's the symbol for the stock. The time from when I put in that 6 and got 10 out of it was, let's see, February, March, April, May, June, 4 months. I doubled my money. I almost doubled my money in 4 months. Now, just to go from $5 to $6 took me a lot of time. Now, this is the difference between investing and trading. I took a risk on a company. Now that company got delisted from NASDAQ. They're over the counter. It's worth 6 cents. That stock is only worth 6 cents. So if I had held it all the way till now, because some people who invest, they say just buy it and hold. Well, if I had held that particular stock, it'd be worth less than what I put in. But I bought it and I basically flipped it. I waited till it popped up and I sold it. So that is how I took a welcome offer, $5, invested it, gained money, traded it, and came out with $10. And that is pretty much how I caught the stock market bug. And I think it's an inspirational story because it shows that my mindset was not where it is now. And it took a whole journey for me to get to where I am now. So if you are new and the best thing to do is just to start. Like, a lot of people are giving this advice, and it resonates with me that it's okay to make mistakes because you learn as you make mistakes. So with a reasonable amount of capital, which is like a small amount of money, not your whole life savings, but if you want to take a dip in the stock market, and basically risk management means not putting it all on one stock. Would never advise anyone to put all their money on one stock. I'm going to go more into diversification and risk management later. But if you just want to dabble with small amounts, get started because you never know where it'll be. I started with $5. I have over $3,000 now in the stock market. So, short amount of time, I was able to really go from someone who had no money in the stock market to someone who has a chunk of money in the stock market. That chunk may not be big for someone else, but for me, it is. So, that's my story. And I hope it inspires someone to start today. Bye.